Well, I would say that the clubs owned by the members are the most difficult to manage, because you have to face different people with different mindsets, with different mentalities, but they all own your club. And when you talk to an individual, he will say, I own this club, and they're right. So it's extremely difficult to manage, in our case, 200,000 members, more than if we could have just one single shareholder. Now it's much more challenging at the same time, and to be very honest, I prefer our model. Well, it's quite difficult because the culture are very different. When you see the culture, for example, in United Kingdom, people accept to be a member of the same club, or even not being a member but just a fan, even if the club doesn't win. In the Iberian countries like Spain and Portugal, members expect you to win, so it's totally different. It depends a lot on the culture. Now, there's a single aspect that it's common to everyone, is this one where they have a sense of belonging, and this is what attracts them to the club. So this is common everywhere from Portugal to Finland. It's the same. Yeah, but the issue is very much around the democracy existing in a membership club. We had case in Benfica, but also in other clubs in Portugal, where you have this populism coming, saying, I will solve all the issues. In our case, we had this difficulty, and we solved it with extremely difficult, because we had good management at a certain point. But the fact that 200 people can vote for a president instead of one shareholder electing a management team, it changes a lot. By the end of the day, if the manager is not good, you will not get the results, being a membership club or being a shareholder company owning a club. It's difficult. It's most probably it's much more difficult to have a membership structure as a club rather than a club owned by 1, 2, 3 different shareholders. The basic is, when you have a company owning a club, the kind of report that you do to your shareholder is probably once a month. When you have a club owned by the members, the kind of report that you have to do to the members, it's once every weekend, because they are expecting the results immediately, while a shareholder is expecting the results a little bit on a long-term process. So it's really different. Now, it doesn't mean that one is the best and the other one is the worst. The members of Benfica, they like the way we act, they like the way we are organized, and they don't want to change that. So for us, it's not even an issue, because it's just like that. Applying, but before that, I think you have to communicate. It's extremely important to communicate with all different stakeholders, not only with the members, but also with the members. You have to explain every month, every 2 months. You have to explain what you're doing. If you are putting the focus on financial, tell them that for the moment the priority is solving the issues in financial terms. If you're putting the focus on infrastructure, then tell them what you're doing. Because if you don't tell them, they might have a misunderstanding about what you're doing, and they will skew you in a certain way about the strategy, the long-term strategy that you have. Of course, because usually in big clubs like Benfica, like the ones who are fighting to become the champion in their respective league, the results that people expect you to have is by the end of the season. But in other cases, for example, when we are launching strategy for the Chinese market, it's a 10 years process. So it depends a lot. So it depends on the focus will be different. The time that you'll spend in implementing the different strategy will be totally different. Well, it depends. It depends on what the members experience in the past regarding this unique bet on the sportive results. In our case, in the case of Hajduk, there were issues during their history that make people think that it's not only about the result in the pitch, it's also the result of the pitch. And you're right. Again, if the members have good memories and bad memories about what happened in the past, they will accept your strategy, not only betting on the pitch, but also supporting in terms of sustainability the club. I think that the soul of the ECA is very much here, because clubs want, the best clubs are here. It's not only the best, the biggest, but it's the best clubs are here, and they share experience which are different from everyone. Hajduk is a club much smaller than Benfica, and the presentations they gave to me were very interesting because I learned a lot about things that eventually I can apply also in Benfica. So it's about this idea of sharing experience, of learning from others, and increasing the value not only of the club but also of the industry. ECA is delivering a very good result in terms of what the clubs get from these kind of events. Thank you very much.